Today on FSI, we are breaking down the Green Bay Packers versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm your host, Tom Cross, and to my right is our analytics expert, Stephen Fu.
Thanks for joining us this week. The Packers are on the road as a 3-point underdog. They're plus 155 money line, and the Vikings are minus 170.
I feel like the odds makers got the line correct. I think they're factoring in the Green Bay draft and that there's tension in the locker room. Also, the money line is pushing you to take Green Bay. At 170, that's a big price to pay for the Vikings.
I'm surprised the bookmakers have the Vikings as the favorite. They lost two big-name players, and now without Stephon Diggs and Xavier Rhodes. There could be great value taking the Packers money line at plus 155.
Aaron Rodgers had an effective 2019. He had 26 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. He almost never makes mistakes. Where you see his effect on the field is that defenses are forced to defend the pass game and it opens up the run game. The team did him wrong this year. They got him no weapons in the offseason. If I was him, I would be asking for a trade, or I might even sit out due to COVID-19.
Kirk Cousins was quite efficient in passing last season, finishing 6th best in the league. The Vikings offense is built on the rushing attack, so he also had the 3rd fewest pass attempts. We might see his performance numbers drop even lower since he won't have his number 1 target anymore.
The Packers' offensive line was middle of the road last year. They allowed 36 sacks and ranks 12th in protection. Lucky for them, Aaron Rodgers helps out that offensive line with his mobility. They do struggle against elite pass rushes. The 49ers dominated them in both matchups last year, but lucky for them, they're playing a suspect Minnesota Vikings D-line. Now, they did play well last year. They had 5 sacks. But they've lost a couple defensive linemen, and on tape, these guys are more of a power rush defensive line. They lack mobility, and at the end of the day, they're going to be playing Rodgers, who likes to get outside the pocket. So I do feel like he will be able to buy time and make some things happen.
The Vikings had a great offensive line last season, allowing the 4th fewest sacks in 2019. Part of that is due to the low pass volume, so it'll be interesting to see how they adjust with the departure of Diggs. When looking at the Packers defense, they're not much of a threat. They're weak in all areas of their defense. They only had 44 sacks last season, which ranked them 16th in the league.
The Packers wide receiver core starts and ends with Davante Adams. He missed 4 games last season, but in the games that he did play, he was extremely effective. Outside of getting Antonio Brown, this wide receiver core is below average. Now, they are going to be facing a Vikings secondary that is depleted. They lost Xavier Rhodes and Mackenzie Alexander. Now, what they did is they picked up Jeff Gladney in the 1st round and Cameron Dantzler in the 3rd round. But I expect Rodgers to dominate these 2 rookies in their first game.
The Vikings will struggle without Stephon Diggs. He led the team with 63 receptions and also had more yards than their 2nd and 3rd receivers combined. The best part of the Packers defense is their DB position. Jail Alexander and Kevin King ranked 6th and 10th in pass deflection.
The Packers' run game revolves around Aaron Jones. He had a breakout season with 16 touchdowns last year. But those stats lie. When you really look at his game splits, he had about 6 monster games compared to 10 games that were below average. He benefited from defenses focusing on Aaron Rodgers and the passing attack. What the team did is they picked up a big bruising back, A.J. Dillon out of Boston College in the 2nd round. So it's going to be interesting what he brings to the team. The Vikings defensive line ranked 18th against the league last year, and it does look like Green Bay is going to be able to run and pass effectively in this matchup. It's going to be a long night for the Vikings defense.
Dalvin Cook was the primary option for Minnesota, led the team to a respectable 4.5 yards per carry. He had a very high usage rate in 2019 with over 300 touches over the entire season. He was definitely the most dynamic player for Vikings and was a second in receiving yards. I do think the Packers will stack the box against the run game. They matched up well on the back end, so all their focus will be on stopping Dalvin Cook.
I expect Aaron Rodgers to dominate this Viking secondary with the possibility of 2 rookie starters. I feel like he's going to be able to do whatever he wants on the field. The Packers' run game will also benefit from this. On the other side of the ball, Cousins loses Diggs. That's his big play threat. So the defense can focus on stopping Dalvin Cook. I like the Green Bay Packers money line in this game, or I would buy the half point and take it up to 3.5.
The Minnesota offense isn't built around the ability to pass. They had the 3rd fewest pass attempts and 4th most rush attempts. They rely purely on Dalvin Cook for their offense. Thielen and Rudolph will be a single coverage, so unless their offensive line performs well, it's going to be very tough for Kurt. I'm taking the Packers here. I like the money line, but if you want to be safe, just take the spread plus 3.5.